Hey there, YouTube. Thought I'd use my screencaster today and see how well it goes, but also wanted to report on record snowfall here in Iowa. I predicted this a week and a half ago. People were like, oh, yeah, crazy. It's not going to snow here because we're having 80, 70, 80-degree days not too long ago. And I said, watch out. I said, we're going to have some record cooling and end up with the snow on the ground before the end of the month. And here we are. Um, Looking at snow, that's the blue area right here. If we were to zoom in, you probably see there's thunder snow right there on the edge, right there in Iowa. I'm right here where this tack is. It's all going to turn over to snow here in about the next hour. I have the snowstorm actually. If you go back on my videos in May, you'll see the snowstorm there, and I got it all on video. And I actually got several there. It's pretty interesting. We got a lot of snow then too. Um, but I wanted to get this on record. Snow in October. When the snow starts flying, I hope to get out there with my camera. And if you ask yourself, how can this affect me? Well, let's take a look at that. Okay. And I tell you what, if you go out, that's at foxnews.com. Give them their credit, but that story's out there. And he talking to, this one guy lost 60 head, that's 120,000, and it's just gone. He says he still owes the banks. It's like driving a brand new pickup off a cliff and still having to make payments. So yeah, let me just hop in here. My recorder actually stopped on me, but I wanted to come back out here and just point this out. Really, farmers, you need to understand, you need to start standing up for policy that's going to make these insurers go after the people that do this to you. You shouldn't just rely on an insurance check. You should rely that your stuff is going to be there, that it's going to be your farm, and even if it was your grandpa's farm or your father's farm. Now it's your farm. Is it going to be your children's farm? You got to think about that. And you need to make your insurance companies, the ones that carry your liabilities, go after these arsonists that took away your cattle. Remember, you're in debt to the banks already. What are you going to do next? The insurance check is not going to cover what you need. You need to make sure these policies of geoengineering, which is going on right now, is not there to destroy what you have, to force you to go buy more cattle or to build a new house or go to Home Depot to repair your house, or you get flooded out and you got to go to Walmart again to buy all new stuff. I want my stuff. I don't want it to be destroyed and have to go shopping again, Getting tired of that. And that's what they're hoping that happens when they use weather as a weapon. And that's exactly what's going on, because they're going after your property and you have a right to protect it. And your insurance companies have an obligation to look after you. And they need to start going after these companies that are providing services to the American government to modify your weather. Okay, you need to understand your weather was interrupted down here when they had the BP spill. You don't have the same weather coming up out of the south as you used to, because this conveyor belt is broken. Okay, no longer goes up your eastern seaboard like this and over to northern Europe. It stops right here in the Gulf of Mexico because it's so daggone polluted with heavy oil. They don't have a device or a mechanism to cap that off down there on that well. Okay, that's why there's been no hurricanes in the Gulf of Mexico. If they did, it'd be a toxic typhoon washing up in all these southern states. Check back, there's been tropical storms, but no hurricanes. And if there's hurricanes, they tear them apart over Mexico. All right, that's why they had that flooding in Colorado, because you had a hurricane here, you had one developing down here in the Yucatan that was threatening to go up here. They had to tear the one off the Yucatan apart and combine it with the one in Mexico. Mexico got flooded, and they tore it apart there and sent it up through the Colorado area. Okay, and they have the ability to modify weather like that. Okay, especially when you're talking directed energy, scalar energy. All right, if you can microwave meat in a microwave oven, you can excite water molecules in an atmosphere. Okay, think about it. They're interacting with the biological level with frequency, and they're doing that. And you should do some more research on that yourself. I encourage everybody that's a farmer to really get in tune to what geoengineering is doing. They not only do it on a whole scale this way, but they learn to do it on micro scale, like you see just right here in my state. All right, condition everything here so you can do it on a micro level, and each state has agreements with other states, etc. Each Department of Natural Resources or whatever boards, natural boards that you have in your state, they're the ones that come up with the policies, and they all have agreements. Texas is really big on that, actually. With their Department of Natural Resources. I'm not quite sure what they call theirs down there. But I went on their website, and you can go right on their website. You can see the policies for weather modification. Just go down to their websites, do a search for weather modification, and you'll find the rules and the legislation, everything that governs this. So remember, folks, when your house gets blown away, make your insurance companies sue the people that did it. Just like if an arsonist burned your house down, there should be an investigation, and those people need to go to jail because they destroyed your home. Okay, and you still get paid. It's not like you don't get paid. You get paid plus these people go to jail. So you talk to your insurance company, State Farm or whatever insurance company, you talk to them and you say, listen, man, it's no longer about acts of God. I don't want to hear that in my policy. Okay, it's acts of men. They're up there spraying your air, prepping the atmosphere so they can produce storms like record snow right here, right now in Iowa. Okay, it's never snowed earlier. It's shattered records today. It's about ready to snow outside in my area. Okay, love the precipitation, fine, you know. But what about those farmers that are out there trying to get the crop out of the field? Okay. Anyway, if you suffer from crop loss, yeah, you got rain and hail insurance, whatever. Well, you call them up and say, listen, we have evidence that our weather has been modified, and that this happened to me because of some company either screwing up or getting some bad orders of how to modify their weather. Okay, so that's why I'm out here. That's why I it's not about views for me. It's about documentation, so they can point back and say, listen, we got actual documentation. Here's the radar images for you right here, folks. Okay, and if the right professionals would do the research and investigate what's going on, and we have claims against these people that are destroying your property, and they're going to make sure that if they get to do it, they're going to do it right. Okay, and we need to modify our weather because they destroyed your Gulf, and who takes over? BP, really? And who takes over the Pacific over here? TEPCO after Fukushima. Do you see what's going on, people? They created disaster so they could go in there and own it. BP now owns it. Really? After they destroyed it, they now own it. Now Fukushima, you got TEPCO owns the whole South Pacific now. How many ships actually want to travel through it now, huh? You want to be a mariner and be on a ship traveling through the Pacific right now? Really? What if you're military out there, whether it's our friend or foe? You know, in our Gulf, you don't want to be in the Gulf of Mexico and be our foe. Right down here, there's so much methane on the surface right now, you would die in 20 minutes. That's what's really going on in your Gulf. If you're to go out there on a boat and you go anywhere near there, you're going to come up on methane fields. You won't smell it. It's a colorless, odorless gas, but it'll kill you in 20 minutes. You'll asphyxiate yourself. There's no oxygen on the surface of the water because it's coming up from underneath. Okay? And so they don't have the technology to go out there and fix that problem. They did it on purpose to go in there and take ownership of it. You try getting a military submarine up there now. Maybe they're doing it for coastal defense. I don't know. But it screwed up our whole weather nationwide and Europe's weather. All right? Sending it colder. And they actually have to make it warmer. All right? You'll hear it here. You won't hear it from Dutch Sense. You won't hear it from suspicious observers. They're afraid to tell you. All right? They're afraid to put their foot down and say, this is what's really going on. They'll go and show you radar images and show you the manufactured storms, which is great. All right, but what does this all mean? And, you know, I hear people say, oh, let's boycott aluminum. That'll just make it cheaper for them to do whatever they need to do. Get your insurance companies, they got investigators to go and incarcerate these people. Because they also have to be on record. Oh, we did an investigation, didn't find anything. Really, here's a pile of evidence. And they keep happening over and over again. They will become liable. The insurance companies will become co-conspirators with these folk. They can't deny it forever, or they become part of it. And then we'll stop buying their insurance. You see? Anyway, that's what I had to say about this record snowfall here in Iowa. You know, this guy right here right now is doing the weather on Channel 5, just spinning it as can be. All right, open up our sky. Do you hear that? Open up our sky, and our temperatures will drop. The language, listen to these weathermen, the language is there. Oh, we got to make it this. We got to tap into that. We have to, in order to get this and that. Yeah. And they're keeping you safe with their radar. Really? So we can see the fist before it smacks us in the face? How about turn those radars off? Anyway. I'm glad I'm back to doing my solar reports and weather reports. Feels good. And And I hope that politics stays under control, but I doubt that. You know, they think they got the money flowing. When you're borrowing money, guys, you ain't got no money. So anyway, that said, take care, guys.